Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pursuing Excellence podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Gay, here today with my good friend, Andrew Riad. Glad to have him on the podcast and wanting to get him on for a while now. So,
Thank you for having me.
Yes, man. Of course. Thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, yeah, of course. No problem.
So, how things been going with you, man? You know, obviously, we're a couple years out, or almost 2 years out of high school, man. How's things going with you, man?
Yeah, so, I'll go ahead and introduce myself again. My name is Andrew Riad. I graduated with Jaden in 2021, May of 2021. We went to the same high school. Known each other since about end of 8th grade, like freshman year-ish. Kind of stuck together in football.
Yeah.
And until I decided to no longer pursue it at the end of sophomore year. Just wasn't what I wanted to do. It was a lot of time commitment, as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I graduated high school. My entire goal in high school was to go to Georgia Tech. I maintained really good grades, all A's, had a few B's here and there, but I took like 9 AP classes. Like I was trying to pursue Georgia Tech. That's what my family ingrained in me. That's what, my aunts, everybody wanted me to go to Georgia Tech. And, kind of made me kind of want to go to Georgia Tech because of my external influences and whatnot. Unfortunately, I did not get accepted, so I was like, okay, no worries. To please my family, I'll go to Georgia State for a year. I took all the hard classes, Physics 2, Calculus 2, all these different classes, Biology 2, just in pursuit of trying to get into Georgia Tech. And I feel as if I wasted my time in university.
Really?
I really didn't enjoy it. It was kind of holding me back from what I wanted to do, and I'll go ahead and get to that in a second. But after my first year, I reapplied to Georgia Tech because everybody said, it's easier to get in after you've already done 1 year of, other classes. I did more than what Georgia Tech had required of me, and I didn't get accepted again. So I took that as a sign from God that, college isn't for me. I didn't want to go anymore. And, it was kind of like a nuclear war in my household, as some would say. Constantly getting in fights with my parents trying to seek advice from other people, our priest, our bishop, whatever, other family members, friends, I was constantly being the topic in the household because I did not want to go to school anymore. And I feel like my parents, the reason why they kept imposing college upon me is because my parents are immigrants. They migrated from Egypt at a young age. And my dad specifically feels as if he had a disadvantage at life because of his lack of education. However, my dad has built multiple successful businesses without his college education. He just had that limiting belief on himself. But now we're in the day and age where college isn't as necessary. It isn't as important. Just because you have a degree does not mean you are going to be successful. Vice versa. Just because you don't have a degree doesn't mean you're going to be successful. It's what you do, what you experience, what you go through, what you put yourself through, what you're willing to do in your life that makes you successful. Success isn't just one thing. It isn't just a college degree. It isn't just money. There's a lot of financially stable people that aren't successful, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Success is all encompassing. It's a circle. You have to have your mind right, your spiritual life right. Not saying that you have to believe in God of Christianity, but you should believe in some type of higher power, something greater than yourself. Whether it's whatever you decide to believe in. I'm not here to persuade anybody to believe any higher power, but it's just like whatever you decide to believe in, your spiritual life should be in check. Your finances should also be in check. You should have good money management skills. You should be able to things like that, manage your finances. You should have your health in check. Health is number one. If your health is not in check, if you're not eating right and taking care of your body, working out, you don't have to be a gym rat like me and Jaden, but you should at least, go on some walks, be mindful of, staying active. Don't just sit on your butt all day doing nothing, be a little active throughout the day. And then your mind has to be right. So everything is correlated. And that's what makes someone successful, is when they have every aspect of their life in check. And I'm not perfect, Jaden's not perfect. We're all striving every single day to become better in all aspects of our life. But going back to my story about college, so when I was 14, I was introduced into day trading. My friend Lehan and I got into it, and a few other people, but I'm not even going to bring them up because they didn't really follow through with it. And you know, what attracted us the most was like, we're going to get rich. Like that was our initial intention with getting into it.
Right.
And we learned the hard way that that's not the case, and that it does require work and time and effort. And it feels as if from the time we were 14, 15, you know, freshmen in high school, all the way up until seniors in high school, we were spinning our wheels. We tried this signal service, we tried this proven strategy by these 24-year-old millionaire gurus on the internet, all these different things. We've tried all of that. We did all of that. In fact, Lehan, I'm not going to go into details, but he lost a lot of money. People that do know him personally know that he lost hundreds of thousands of dollars at the age of 16. Money that he had made himself. A lot would say by luck. I do believe it was luck. He just was consistent and had good money management skills, but it wasn't based off of any pure logic. Me, I didn't have as much money, but I lost upwards of 50, 60,000 up until now. Something like that, which is still a lot of money for people our age. I mean, I'm only 20 and Jaden is 19. So, you know, we're very young, and to be stating numbers like that, that's a lot of money, not let alone for, you know, a child. For an adult, that's a lot of money, especially in this day and age. So we got to the point where we knew that this would work out, but we weren't too certain anymore. So we kind of put it on the back burner a little bit junior year. But then senior year, we were fortunate enough to find our mentor. We succeeded with that. We joined his mentorship, and we started learning the ins and outs of the market. And, you know, during that time where I was kind of going to school for that 1 year at Georgia State, and I didn't really know if I really wanted to continue or not. I just wanted to kind of go to please my parents or whatnot. I kind of decided, this is not for me, because it was distracting me from trading. I wasn't able to do my trading. I wasn't able to put in that 100% effort. And a lot of people come up to me and be like, well, what if trading doesn't work out? Or what if, you know, you lose all your money, this and that, blah, 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 blah. I don't believe in a plan B, and I'll let you get into it taking that. I personally don't believe in plan B. I only believe in plan A, because if you have a plan B to fall back on, you're not going to put in 100% effort on plan A.
That's it.
What do you? What are your thoughts?
I mean, dude, I agree. I think, you know, like you said, I feel like now, as you mentioned with school, I think it's been a notion that if you don't go to college, you're not gonna be successful, and that's not. And like I said, it's not true. You know, and I don't know why that's a common narrative now, and it's been this way for some years now. And I don't know. It's a lot of pressure that's put on kids, because like if you don't go to college, then you're not gonna do anything. You got to go to college. You know, not necessarily. A lot of people, man, they're successful haven't gone to college, you know. I mean, so I just think, I like what you made. You made the decision, dude. Like you experienced that, like you said, and you learned, like, you know what, this is distracting me from what I really want to do, and so let me just focus full time on trading, you know. And I'm right there with you, man. I support that. That's a good thing, man. You analyzed that decision, you made it for yourself, and you know you have a plan, obviously. So I think it's always important to have a plan, and to continue to attack that plan just constantly every day. So
going back to your point about a plan, so I'm going to go into some details about, you know, the struggles I've been through, because I have been through a lot. A lot of people don't know this, because I don't really share a lot on social media. People see the outside. They see what I put out there. And this past year, I haven't been in college. Like as I said, I dropped out, but it has been the hardest year of my life, both financially and mentally. I've lost, just this year alone, upwards of $60,000, not in the markets, but just through stupid decisions that I made. I kind of got into the habit of spending money more than I was making, and I got into a lot of trading is all about discipline and good money management. You can be 50% right and 50% wrong on, you know, the direction of the market, but as long as you have discipline, a good trading plan, and money management, you'll still be profitable. Now, I'm not going to sit here and toot my own horns, but I can read the markets pretty well. I've learned pretty well. That's not my issue. My issue was the discipline and my money management and my trading plan. So you said that you have to have a plan. I didn't really have a plan written on paper. I had it in my brain, but if you don't write it on paper, there's nothing to really follow that's a structure. And then if you lack that discipline, then you can't really follow it still. And like I said before, everything is correlated. So during that time, I was eating really bad, not consistent with my diet, not consistent with my training, falling off there, and that's a big part of my life. So that was correlating into my trading, and I wasn't able to necessarily succeed in my trading because it was kind of correlated. It was like, if you don't eat right, then your brain is all fogged up. If your brain is fogged up, then you don't have the mental clarity to do what you have to do. And it's not only with trading, it's with anything in life. If you're pursuing a business, if you're in school wanting to become a doctor or whatever, you have to have your mind right. You can't be scrolling on TikTok 10 hours a day and then expect for you to become successful. It's just not going to work like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you just have to constantly be consuming, what you consume from your technology is no different than what you consume food-wise for your body. If you're consuming constant, for men out there, if you're constantly looking at women that are being sexualized, then you're always that's all you're gonna be thinking about. You're constantly distracting yourself with stimulations of sorts. You're constantly spiking your dopamine levels and then reducing your baseline, and that's not what you want to do. You're becoming numb to certain things. So when it comes time to having to put in effort and put in that work that you need to do to get to where you need to be, you don't want to do it because it's not as stimulating as maybe smoking the weed or playing the video games or doing whatever is distracting you from what you have to do. And we all know what we have to do, but it's the people that are disciplined that get it done that are set apart from everyone else that's successful. You know what I'm saying? And the people that get it done are the ones that are set apart from those that are not successful. And I look around at the people around me, even the people that I graduated with, and I'm not, to throw shade at anybody specifically, but what is the common thing that everybody is doing, right? And you go to college, but you're not really a part of the crowd. You don't live on campus. You're not doing everything that everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
But 90% of the people that go to college, yes, they might be getting their schoolwork done, but what are they doing in their free time? They're not really doing anything to edify themselves. And this is just my observation from the outside. But they're not doing anything to their own edification. They are going to parties constantly. They're drinking. They're smoking.
Yeah.
They're consuming garbage throughout the week, and they're not getting anywhere. And I've been to a few parties. I drink maybe once or twice a year. I've smoked weed, a few times. I'm just gonna say it straight up. I don't do it because I don't believe that it is helping me. If it's not helping me, it's hurting me. That's my motto. So there's no need for me to do things that are not in my favor. If it's not going to put me 1% better, like Coach Guess, our old high school football coach used to say, get 1% better every single day. And it's just it's true. If you lay one brick at a time, over the course of a year, you're going to have a wall. Over the course of 2 years, you might have 2 walls. And then over the course of 10 years, you're going to have a building. So it's just 1% better every day. Yeah. Your goal is not to be perfect, but aim for perfection. So you get closer and closer and closer to it. And it's just I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to be normal. And I'm okay with that.
Yes, bro, exactly.
I'm okay with not being normal because the way that I see it, right? People that are normal, they live a very boring existence. They wake up, they go to work, they see their family maybe a few hours a day, then they come home and they sleep, and they repeat that same cycle every single day. And that's not what I want to do. I want to have freedom. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to have new experiences, do things that people that they're not able to do. But I'm not saying that I'm any better than anybody else either. I see everybody on the same playing field. We are all equal.
Yeah.
We all have the same capability. Unless, unless there's someone that has no arms or no legs or can't see or can't, I'm talking about everybody that has their full senses, every body part, whatever. I don't care if you're dumb, if you're slow, if you're smart, whatever. We are all the same. I'm no different than you. You're no different than me. Nope. We're all human. At the end of the day, we're all human, and we all have our brains. Now, someone that I was watching on YouTube last week, his name is Luke Belmar. He's a very successful entrepreneur, but he said that all of our minds are programmable. Now it's up to you to decide who programs your mind, and I put that on my Snapchat not too long
seen
ago.
that. Yeah, that's,
so it goes deep. It's like the media is trying to program us to be slaves in society, and that's not necessarily what I want to be a part of. You know, that's why I'm constantly trying to fill my mind with things that are only going to edify me and make me better, versus consuming the garbage that the media puts out there. I don't care what this celebrity did with this celebrity and what this person, I don't care. Right. It has nothing to do with me. It's not like I try to even stay away from viewing people's stories, because what is what someone else doing in their life going to do for me? It's like comparison is a thief of joy. If I'm pursuing something and someone next to me is also pursuing that same thing, but we're not really communicating too much about it, and I see that they're quote unquote far ahead of me, or they've done more than me, that's just going to make me feel like crap. Like there's no reason for me to sit here and compare myself to others. I know plenty of people that I know personally that are way better traders than me. They make a lot more money, but I can't sit here and look at their profits and be like, oh wow, like he's better than me, this and that. No, he has more experience. He's been doing it longer. Who am I to say that he's any better than me? It's just that he is positioned himself from his previous actions and put himself, ahead. So it's just like,
what
are your thoughts on that?
I mean, like you said, comparison is the thief of all joy, and it's a very bad thing that we do as people. We like to compare ourselves to everybody else, and like it's especially now, like you said, with social media and how it's taken over. Like you scroll through Instagram, TikTok, whatever, you're seeing people like, you know what, man, he's got that nice car, man, he's got that, man, that nice girl, whatever. You start thinking, like, you just spend time just thinking about what you could have, or like, what you could do, or what instead of just putting in the work into what what you need to be doing. It's a waste of time, man. And it's like, why do we do it? Like, he's not that much better than me at all. That's my whole take on it, man. I think we do that too much as humans, man. And it's very evil. To me, it's toxic. That's why I do my own thing, man. Like you said, I go to school, but also I'm spending time doing something productive. This podcast, I'm trying to continue to grow this, man, improve it. So I'm putting my time.
You're doing a great job with it.
I appreciate it, bro. Like, I'm putting the effort in to do that instead of just out here, wasting time. And you gotta have fun too. It's a balance, but you have to find that line in between. It's a balance, If you're teetering towards more than one way than the other, that's not good. It's gotta be level.
So it's something that I do. I struggle with balance, and I'm not gonna say it's a good thing or a bad thing, because I believe has its pros and its cons. But right now I'm in my period of kind of like, December is my month to kind of relax my mind and get my mind right, to get back on track and start crushing the new year, because I have a lot of things planned on doing.
Yeah.
But I tend to work, burn out, take a few weeks off, and then work, burn out, and then take a few weeks off, and then work. Like that's how I go. I don't really have a balance. Like if I'm in go mode, I'm on go mode. I'm like this. So I'm just zooming until I burn out, and that's how I've always been. So like, I'll have days where I'm just working for like from 6 a.m. to like 4 p.m. Then I'm going to the gym, coming home, cooking, eating, going to sleep. And I'm doing that every single day. Going to church on Sunday, coming home from church, going to the gym, going to work, doing my thing. And I'll do that for months and months and months on end, just grinding until I feel like, okay, now I need a break. And then I'll take that break. Maybe my family will plan a vacation or something, or we'll go somewhere, or I'll just like relax a bit, work a little less. But that's just what I found that works best for me, and not everybody can handle that type of like stress, because it is very stressful, and it does take a toll on my social life. I'm not going out with friends. I'm like, how often do we see each other? You're texting me, and I'm always like, nah, I'm busy. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And it's not like that I don't want to hang out with you or anything, but it's just like I have stuff that needs to get done, because I'm trying to set myself up for the future. I'm trying to be able to provide for my future family, my future wife. I'm not sitting here sleeping around with all these different women, wasting my energy, wasting my time, like a lot of other people that I know that are my age. I'm out here trying to make myself better, And a lot of people come up to me and tell me that I'm more mature than the average person my age, and I agree.
Same thing here, bro. Like same thing.
Like I'm a lot. Like I'm just on a different wavelength than most people, and I'm not sitting. Like I said, like I'm not any better than anybody else. But it's just like who I surround myself with, which is another point I have to make. I don't surround myself with too many people because people around me can't keep up with me, and if they can't keep up with me, then they're not really like I can only add so much value to someone else's life before I burn out. You know, like I have to be surrounded by people that I can not only bring value to, but can bring value back. But if I'm just giving, I'm gonna run out of things to give. Someone has to give to me. You know, and I'm not saying like I'm expecting something back, but a relationship is a two-way street.
Yeah.
I can't be giving, and then not receiving anything back. You know, like this just doesn't work. Like that's not how life works. So that's why I really keep my circle tight with maybe 2 or 3 people, maybe 4 or 5, like on a consistent basis, because those are the people that are adding value to my life, and I'm adding value back to theirs. You know, they might give me some advice on, you know, business or whatever, and I might give them advice on fitness or whatever, or vice versa. You know, it doesn't matter what it is, but we're always trying to edify each other and bring each other up. So that's another key point. You know, if you want to become successful, that saying is like you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around with most, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean like physically hang around with. If you're constantly watching certain people on YouTube that you aspire to be like, you're consuming their information, so you're surrounding yourself with their thoughts. You know, you're trying to be like them, so that counts as one of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. And yeah, so it's just about who you're surrounding yourself with. You know, if your friends are always drinking and always smoking weed and partying, it's not going to be long before you're doing the same thing. You know, you're trying to do some work on a Friday night. You have to be able to say no. Like, no, I'm working. I'm not going out. And yeah, they might call you this, they might call you that, they might call you lame. You know,
who cares?
Like at the end of the day, who cares? Yeah, exactly, Jay. Who cares? Because you're the only, like, no one's gonna come up to you. Like, my goal in life right now is to get rich. Okay, and a lot of people think I'm crazy for saying that, but I care less. Like, your opinion doesn't matter to me because I know what I'm gonna do in my life, and it's like no one else is gonna come up to you and be like, okay, Andrew, like, it's time for you to get up. You know, do your work, do this. No one's coming to save you. You're the only person in your life that can actually do what needs to be done. You're the only one that cares. No one cares. Like, if you're fat and lazy, no one's going to come and tell you to get up off your ass and excuse my language, you might have to bleep that out.
So good,
you have to bleep that out. But no one's going to tell you to get up and go to the gym. It's up to you. You have to make that decision for yourself. No one's going to sit here and take away your junk food and put it in the trash. You have to be the one to make that decision, and take that step to better your life. And it's just up to you to decide whether or not you want to do it. Do you want to be like everybody else, or do you want to be different? Do you want to set yourself up? Do you want to be that man that, you know, and I'm not only talking to men either, I'm talking to everybody in general, but I'm just using that as an example. Be that person that, you know, steps up and takes action, you know?
Yeah, and I think another thing about it, man, is like, you know, why chase something that's not going to benefit you in the long run? Like, I think a lot of, you know, people just chase like the
instant gratification.
Yeah, like, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's in the moment, it's cool, it's fun, yeah, you know, we're just kicking back, having fun, you know, this and that. And then when you get to a point where you're like, okay, I need to do this or that, A or B, but you don't know what to do, you know, because you wasted so much time and effort and energy into all this other stuff that's meaningless, and now you're at a point where you need to be serious. You got, you know, take initiative, and you don't know what to do. You're lost, you know. And so that's why I feel like it's important to, like you say, surround yourself with the right people or the right things, what you view. Because again, when your mind takes in those bad things, just like you said with food and what you eat, it'll bog you down, you know, and you're not able to think clearly. You're not able to process things clearly. So I think that's real important, man. But I wanted to ask your opinion on this. Mm-hmm. So, dude, like, what do you think, man? Like, as far as like, how important is it to just have that discipline, man? Like you said, saying no, but like just be able to, like, the tunnel vision, right? In a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, to clear everything out, you know, just have your eyes on the prize, bro. Like, how important is that?
Yeah. So something that I get a lot of people ask me is like, how are you stay? Because, you know, if you know me, you know, I've been through a lot of different transformations. Like, I used to be overweight as a kid, and then I lost weight and got really skinny. So like when I was in 8th grade, I was like maybe 200 pounds, had no muscle, really fat. Like my arms were really, really skinny, like 12-inch arms, but I had a really big belly and like big man boobs or whatever. And I lost weight, and I went down from like 200 to like 155. Then I was like, okay, now I need to put on some muscle. And so I started working out like more, and eating more healthy and eating more protein, things like that, just tracking my calories consistently, and started putting on muscle. And then I would go through periods where I would screw up and then gain weight back, and then try to lose it again, and just kind of yo-yo dieting for a bit. Then once I graduated high school, I kind of went into like a quote-unquote depression. It was like I don't believe in depression. I believe it's self-induced. I kind of self-induced my own depression by just eating like trash and not really doing what I needed to do. And I went into a really dark place in my life, and during that first year of college, I just looked like trash. I really was insecure, didn't really feel like motivated or anything. But I got to a point where it wasn't the motivation that I needed, it was that discipline. And it's doing what you need to do regardless of how you feel, regardless if you're tired, sad, mad, angry, whatever it is. That if you want to get in shape, for example, you have to go to the gym consistently when you're supposed to. Not necessarily saying you have to go every single day. You do need to take rest days. But my coach, I had hired a coach. He tells me, I need to go to the gym on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe not Thursday, but I have to go Friday, Saturday. I better be at the gym those days. I have to complete every rep, every set, do what I'm supposed to do, work out with full intensity, eat right. And I might want to have that Oreo, but if I'm not allowed to have it, then I'm not going to eat it. Things like that requires discipline. And it's like it's hard. It is hard because I do struggle with it a lot of times. But at the end of the day, even if you slip up once or twice, it's okay, because it's consistency that matters. You're never going to go upwards like this. You might go up and then you kind of come a little bit down and then go back up and go down. But as long as the overall direction is you constantly progressing, it's okay. Small progress is still progress. So it's just like discipline comes down to doing the things you have to do regardless of how you feel, because you have to do them. That's what discipline is. And it goes back to that thing I was telling you about success in the circle. Discipline requires that your mind is right. If your mind isn't right, if you're constantly consuming that garbage that I had said earlier, then you're not going to have that discipline. You're going to get lazy. If you're constantly masturbating and doing these things that drain your energy, and watching porn and doing things like that, you're draining your energy. You're wasting yourself. You're just wasting your life into God knows what. So don't do that. You're wasting yourself. You're not going to be disciplined like that. So it takes that mindset to be able to tell yourself no to certain things. No, I'm not going to go out and go to this party. No, I'm not going to do this. No, I'm not going to eat this cookie. No, I'm not going to watch porn today, or ever. Don't, like, why are you watching it in general? Just stop. But no, I'm not going to drink on this occasion. Yeah, you can drink on New Year's or whatever, enjoy yourself, but everything in moderation. But yeah, being able to tell yourself no requires that mindset and that discipline that you instill. No one is just born with discipline. Like, you have to train yourself. Everything is trained. Like I said, back to your brain, everything is programmable. You have to program your mind in a positive way. You have to essentially brainwash yourself, in a positive way. Don't associate brainwashing with a negative connotation. You have to positively brainwash yourself to become the best version of yourself. God put us here for a reason, and every day we need to strive to please God, because at the end of the day, if you're not living up to your fullest potential every day, and like I said, you're gonna have those days where you slack off a bit, but it's okay. Then you're being a disgrace. You're not pleasing your Creator, who put you here. He gave you your eyesight. He gave you the ability to speak, the ability to walk, the ability to think. And even if, let's just say, you're watching this and you don't have all those abilities, be thankful. Still be thankful, because He did that for a reason, maybe to teach you a lesson or put you, God gives us obstacles in our life to challenge us and to test our strengths and our weaknesses and see what we're capable of doing. Always find the positive in